Hey everybody, Logan here. This is kind of interesting. So, this goes back to pretty much everything we've been speaking about. I don't know, for a while now, about Xbox not being Xbox, and if everything's an Xbox, nothing's an Xbox, and how Xbox fans are the ones who are really getting the worst end of the stick here. Let's just put it that way. Here we have a former PlayStation exec talking about what it means to have Xbox pretty much going third party, because that's really what Xbox has become. It's a company that used to make consoles and games, first party exclusives, ton of it, right? Right. Not anymore. As we all know, Xbox is now a third-party publisher that just happens to make consoles, because that's pretty much what it is. Since I would say Xbox One, they floundered there, especially at the 3. Remember that? Oh, you have to have always online, or you can't share your games, and how Sony humiliated them. And then Microsoft backpedaled. They never recovered. And then them putting the Kinect in every bundle, every console, forcing people to buy it, and then making it more expensive than the PS4. It's just been an uphill battle since then. And well, this generation seems to be no different, with the Series X and Series S selling very, very poorly compared to the PlayStation 5. And that's a dang shame. As someone who used to be, the biggest Xbox fanboy. Yeah, I'll admit it, I was an Xbox fanboy. Even early days in my channel, you could definitely see that showing through. Now, things are very different. I don't hold an allegiance to anybody, except for maybe Nintendo. I've always been a Nintendo fan. But now, things are very, very different. And we just had Forza Horizon 5 being announced for the PlayStation 5, as well as leaked games Halo, Master Chief Collection, Gears of War Trilogy, and other games coming out. Some speculated being Microsoft Flight Simulator and others coming to PlayStation 5 and the Switch 2. It's just a matter of time when they stop manufacturing consoles and Microsoft go, all right, we're just going to become the new Netflix of gaming. Well, that's kind of what this article leads to. Let me show you. Here we go. Former PlayStation exec says the game is changing as Xbox goes multi-platform. They were Blockbuster, they became Netflix. I couldn't have said that any better myself. This is a big reason why I wanted to cover this. Not just the fact that, again, I used to be a big Xbox fan. Shoot! I used to work for Microsoft. Well, if you guys didn't know that. Well, all my new subscribers may not. I've kind of pulled back off that joke for a while. But I still have friends, and I still have, people I know who work for the company, and I get a lot of inside information. And this is one thing that my insider and I have been talking about quite frequently the last few days. I know a lot of people are asking me about the Marvel games coming to Game Pass, but right now the information on that, as well as the Transformers and other Activision Blizzard games, have been kind of put on the back burner because everyone's talking about Xbox exclusives coming to PlayStation and the Switch 2, and it seems like everybody's really talking about the PlayStation versions. Forza Horizon 5 coming to PlayStation is a big thing. That was one of their, I guess you can say, their keystone franchises for the Xbox. And now, it's on PlayStation. Microsoft is getting to the point where it's going to be like, it doesn't matter if you come out with a console, you're unnecessary. Nobody needs to buy it. I'm even contemplating that if all these games come to PlayStation, will I even touch their next gen console, even though I will probably need one to test all the accessories, the controllers, and all that other stuff Will I do it? Well, if they have an inexpensive version like they did with the Series S, that's probably where I'll go. And then all their big franchises I'll play on my, PlayStation 6 or Switch 2 or what have you. But that's talk for the future. Let's read this article, and then I will give you a bit more information as we go. I'm going to interject my thoughts. Why? Because after reading some of this, now there's an interview, I can't show it, I don't want to get hit with a copyright claim, but there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm going to give you my opinion on and add a few things because of what I've been told from my insider. So let's go. I've rambled on enough. With the announcement of Forza Horizon 5 moving over to PS5, Xbox has planted another flag in its new multi-platform landscape, which started to take shape around a year ago. I honestly think it was before that. It really started with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard and Call of Duty and a couple of other Actiblizz games being put on multi-platform, Diablo and stuff like that. So I think it started a little before that, but hey, I guess that can be argued. Things are definitely moving forward as we head into 2025 though, which is causing lots of industry folk to chime in on the matter, including former PlayStation exec Adam Boyes. I've never heard of this guy, so hey, take it with a grain of salt. Indeed, Boyes has been talking to Gamertag Radio host Danny Pena recently, and when asked about Microsoft's new strategy, the former Sony employee had some interesting things to say. Boyes spoke, I think that's how you pronounce it, Boyes or Boyes. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. Spoke about the game landscape changing and that they, Microsoft, were Blockbuster over time they became Netflix. That is very true. That was one of the reasons I decided to focus on this article, because I think that's really the best way to say it. They're not a hardware. They're not a place where you can go and specifically get games. You can just get them anywhere now, just like Netflix. They literally, it doesn't matter what you have, you can play these games anywhere. So they really, I want to say they shot themselves in the foot. They shot the consumers in the foot. What do I mean by that? Their fan base. They kind of said F you to all the people that have supported them through the years and only bought Xboxes. They're like, yeah, now, you know what? You should have just bought a PlayStation 5. The Xbox Series S or X is pointless. It's not even the most powerful console out there. Remember when they were saying the Series X is the most powerful console? Yes, it was initially more powerful than the PlayStation 5, but with the PlayStation 5 Pro, it kind of dwarfs the Series X. Not that the Series X is a bad gaming console in terms of power. It's not. Let's continue. The analogy speaks to Xbox's shift to a more content and services based platform. Although you could argue that with Xbox Live and the focus on digital marketplaces, Microsoft has always lent that way in the gaming world. Yeah, you could say that. Boyes also posed the question of who's the victim when Microsoft decides to move more games over to other platforms. I'll get to that in a minute after this. Quote, when Phil and his team are putting amazing content on more platforms, who's the victim? I've been asking a lot of people like, who's the victim? And there aren't any except for people who are just like, well, I want it, games, only where I bought it, and that's what I expect. End quote. Who's the victim? That is extremely PlayStation oriented or other platform oriented mindset. Who's the victim? The consumer. The Xbox consumer, the Xbox fan. They are the victims. They're the ones who are told all the money you spent on our hardware, you wasted it. You should have spent it on a PlayStation. You should have bought a PlayStation because all these games that you love are now coming to our competitor, and we're pretty much going to dwindle support for our current one. Hey, yeah, we'll put it on Game Pass. There you go. You happy? Oh, but you don't have an Xbox? You can still play them on your PC or on your phone or on whatever you have, on your freaking Chromebook. What? Chromebooks are dirt cheap. $200, you can stream it. Oh, you got an Asus ROG Ally, you got a Steam Deck. You don't need the Xbox. You don't need it. Unless you want cool controllers. Oh, no, wait. All you have to have is a PC. That's who the victim is. Microsoft's Xbox fans. Those are the victims. This bothers me quite a bit, and this leads me back to my friend who works, my insider who works at Microsoft, is really pro what Microsoft is doing as games as a service, and I think it's a very bad thing. He's a PC guy, so he's like, I don't care. You know, he's got an Xbox. He's like, but PC. I'm like, okay, I get it. Most gamers are not PC players. The majority of people who play video games do not play on PC. They enjoy playing on a console. Handheld console. Look at the Switch sales. Look at the PlayStation 5 sales. It's much easier to buy a console, plug it in, and not have to worry. PCs, to play a decent PC, I have so many friends that are PC. Yeah, but they're spending they're spending 3 times the amount of my PlayStation 5 Pro, and I can play all the same games. Ooh, because you get ray tracing. I don't give a crap. I can still play the game. And that's what most people think. They're like, oh, I can buy this box for $400. I can buy this handheld for $200, $300, and I still have all these amazing games. I don't care if it doesn't, have particle effects or everything. But most people just want to play a good game and enjoy it. And Microsoft is kind of at the point where they're like, all right, put it on everything. It doesn't matter if you like all the prettiness or all the ugliness of the game. Here, play it on everything. And even though we sold you this box that can really do all that stuff, we really don't care. My frustration is real with this, but hey, I digress. Let's continue the article and wrap this video up. These are some interesting points here, and it's nice to see a more positive take on the whole shift, especially from someone once on the Sony side of things, because that's a Sony point of view. They're gonna be positive. If you're a Sony person, you're going to be positive that Xbox games are coming to your platform. As traditional console players, this is definitely going to take time to adjust to, but more people getting to play more games is surely a good thing for us as consumers. That is a cope. That's just a coping mechanism for people who are really upset, but they don't want to say it. They're fanboys that say, hey, I spent all this money on Xbox console. They know inside that they wasted their money. That's what it is. It's just a coping mechanism. Nobody likes it's like if PlayStation all of a sudden said, hey, we're putting all of our games on PC. Oh, wait, they did. Oh, and look, they pulled all that back because the games weren't selling for crap, but they sell amazing on PlayStation. That is a story for another video, maybe for the podcast. That's what we'll talk about, amongst other things, on the next episode of Ready to Start Podcast. Make sure you tune in every Monday at 9:30 Eastern. Shameless plug. It's on Microsoft to make it work as a business. I think it's time for Xbox as a console to hang it up. You've already said play Xbox on all these Xboxes. Nothing's an Xbox. These are not Xboxes. You've got one Xbox here. It's time to hang it up, Microsoft. Admit defeat and say you're going the way of Sega. And this is an awful thing coming from somebody who used to be pro Xbox. And I'm a huge Halo fan. But hey, look at it this way. I can be... We were talking about this at the game store the other day. There are a bunch of PlayStation guys, and I'm like, I'm looking forward to schooling all y'all in some Halo. I've been playing Halo for over 20 years now. I've been playing everything, and I really want to wreck everybody. So looking forward to it. But hey, it's going to be nice to be able to shoot some newbies in some Halo, right? And some gears, take some chainsaw. But hey, it is what it is, right? I guess that's all we can really say to that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me what you guys think about this. Sorry for the long-winded video, but there you go. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.